Welcome to Financial Investing Radio, where you'll learn the secrets for consistent, high-probability returns in the financial markets for additional income to change your life. Grant creates consistent, high-probability trading systems for the financial markets and has applied them over the past 5 years. He's only recently started sharing these tried and true market secrets. As a gift to listeners, Grant is offering his high-probability indicators for free. Go to financialinvestingradio.com and download yours today. Now, here's your host and trading veteran, Grant Larson.
Hey everybody, it's Grant again. Hey, I just wanted to point out a couple things. I was thinking about a couple things this evening. So first of all, tomorrow, Friday, June 16th, you're not going to be able to see this very clearly, but it's going to be at 7:30 a.m. We're going to have federal news announcement, building permits. The other thing I wanted to point out for tomorrow, it's monthly options expiration. The markets often behave sort of in interesting ways on that particular day, so be mindful of that. Hey, I wanted to point out something here this evening. So first of all, we've always got to keep mindful of the overall market context. Now, I'm sure you remember the old cartoon, the Flintstones, right? And if you remember, he would, when he'd be coming up to a location really fast, put his feet down, and they'd screech along the ground, right? And he'd stop his car. I was always amazed that he never had any foot burns, so I didn't get quite understand that. The other part I didn't understand with him is at the end of every episode, he would he'd run up to the door because he got locked out, and they'd end it by him banging on the door. And I used to think, your windows have no glass, so why don't you jump in there? Anyway, let me get back to what I want to discuss with you tonight. Look, I was looking at Citigroup. Okay, so I've got two charts here. I have the Citigroup chart here and the market effectiveness chart over here. All right, and basically what it's doing is, the market effectiveness chart shows how effective the market engine is at pushing Citigroup. So you need to understand how Citi's doing relative to that, or any of the stocks or futures. All right. Now, here's something that I just want to point out to you. Okay. Now, if you look over here, you can see on May. Where is that? Let me come over here. Over here, May. What do we got? May 26th. Right here. You're not going to be able to see that, but right there, the market engine shifted gears on May 26th. And what Citi did was price started to fall off. It didn't fall off by much, but it did drop and retreat a little bit. Another market shift, another market engine shift. It shifted gears right here on June 7th. And on June 7th, then what you'll be able to see, if you can see my finger way over there, you'll be able to see that the market actually then carried it up. It went up to about the 64 point something range, about 3 points. Here's the reason why I'm pointing this out. All right, these gear shifts, right? When Citigroup gets misaligned with the market engine, and we get these gear shifts on it, right? You got to take note on that. Well, I mentioned it because it's starting to look like a Fred Flintstone on Citigroup. Okay, so what's happening right here is, and you're going to have to lean in really close to see this. Right here, we've got the market engine is starting to shift gears on it. It hasn't completed it, so you don't make a move yet. But what you do is you take note of that. You go, okay, price is stalling. Fred Flintstone's doing some screeching up here, and we've got a gear shift in mid-stride. So it's a potential, right, that it could go down from that. Now, there's so something to watch for, okay? So this applies to stocks as well. Now, I wanted to bring something down here, all right? Here we go. I'm going to just do one more thing here this evening, and that is we're just going to take a look at the futures at the E-minis. Why? And I show this one a lot, the E-minis. Look at the difference here. On the right-hand side up here, price was going up, 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 up. So throughout the day today, this is today, Thursday, where are we? Thursday, June 15th. Price went up, chopped back and forth a little bit. Net effect, though, is it ended high. Okay. But look at this. Over here, the market effectiveness chart was dropping. All right, so I traded the day. I was able to trade the day, even by using the market effectiveness chart. I got about 7 different gear shifts and still traded those, even though the effectiveness chart was saying, take the opportunities to the downside. Now, why the disconnect? Well, the disconnect is that there are things going on underneath within the market engine where we have some misalignment. What that typically means is that there either needs to be a stronger foundation that comes in tomorrow and continues to push that up. That means some big players or big institutions need to come in and push price up more. Or if not, then it's going to do a Fred Flintstone on the futures market, right? It'll come to a screeching halt, and then price will retreat. Okay, so one of two things have to occur, right? If it holds up throughout the night, then big players come in, then it could continue. But this misalignment right here, that's really key to note. Even when there's misalignment like that, you still get if I can say it, you still get good gear shift signals, so you can still trade that profitably. Isn't that interesting? You can still trade it profitably, even though the market effectiveness says it's going down, but there's still over on that effect going up. All right, it's critical to be able to understand how to use the market effectiveness chart with your trading, whether it's futures or stocks or what have you. All right, if you want to take a closer look at the different charts that I'm showing, then you can find them by going to my Facebook page. It's obviously facebook.com/financial investing secrets. So I hope to see you there. Hey, until next time, keep your eye on the market effectiveness chart. Trade smart. Always keep your eyes on the overall market context. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for joining Grant on Financial Investing Radio. Remember to subscribe and leave feedback. Don't forget to download your free high probability indicators before your next trade. Visit financialinvestingradio.com now.